How about Allan Jeans? You had a very close relationship.
Oh, yeah.
What was he like?
Very astute student of the game. Good fella. All for his players. All the players loved him. All the players loved him. He was fanatic, you know. I'll give you an example. I played bowls with him. He's got me to play bowls at Cheltenham, and he used to train me, and he coached me like a bloody coach in football. And I was like about 5 years older than him, and he said, "Yeah, laddie, you got to do this, and you got to follow." "No, laddie, follow through, follow."
So this is in the last 10 years or so that this was.
Yeah. Last few years, just before he died, and but that's how he was. And it was the same when I ran for him. If we were well in front, he was fanatic. He used to split and get all over me, and we'd play at Waverley, and he wouldn't sit up top because it was too far away from the ground. He and I used to sit in the crowd. We had the 2 seats halfway up the grandstand, and he had arranged that I used to run down the steps. The bloke would open the gate for me. I'd jump down, and by the time the boundary light was 15 feet wide, the bloody boundary, and I was buggered before I even got on the ground. But I used to be nearly dead after a match, and if we were in front, he was worse. He was worse. If we were getting beat, he sort of calmed down a bit. But he was he didn't want to lose. He hated to lose. He said to me once, I'll give you an example. He said to me once about playing Scrabble. He said, "I'll tell you how much I hate losing." He said, "I won't play Scrabble with Mary and the kids," and you've got to understand this is going back in the late 60s, and the kids were only little. He said, "I won't play Scrabble with Mary and the kids because they can beat me." And I said, "Oh, that's bloody terrible, Yab." He said, "Well, that's how much I hate losing." And that's what he told me. He wouldn't play Scrabble with the kids because they could beat him.
A lot of the players he coached, and I think after he died, you heard this a lot. You know, guys like Cowboy or Dermot Brereton would talk about him as if he was like a father figure.
He was a father figure to them. He was. Brereton, I was with Yab 3 days before he died down the home. He knew he was going because he arranged all these funerals, you know. He arranged police band, who was going to sing. Rossi Smith told me that he called him in and told him what he wanted him to say. Because I said to him, "I'll see you next week, Yab." And he said, "Oh, look, Kenny, I think you better ring before you come in, you know." And I thought, he probably doesn't want visitors because he was getting that stage. But he knew he was going. But Breeny and Mark McClure and myself, we went to see him one day, and we had a terrific afternoon. They acted the fool. Geez, he's got this stuff up his nose and that, and him and Breeny picking at each other, you know, because the players used to call Breeny Barry Jeans, because they reckoned that he was Jeans' favourite. He got a game money because Jeans' favourite. They called him Barry Jeans. But no, the players loved him. The players all loved him.
What was the key to his success? He's remembered as one of the great coaches. What was the key to him being such a good coach?
I really don't know. Everybody used to say to start with he was a defensive coach. He was too defensive, you know. But I don't think so. I think he had good players, of course. And let's face it, you've got to have good players. And but he got people on board. I think that's what he was able to get people on his side. He was very good with people. That's the only reason I can think that he was so successful. When he started with us, he was a very ordinary speaker. He used to spit and carry on, but he went away and he'd become a great orator. And to hear him talk, they say that Kennedy, was the greatest speaker you can listen to. Jeezy was the same. You know, like you could be 150 yards away and you could hear Jeezy. He'd build up, you know. He'd build up what he wanted to say, and then he'd come down and he'd talk, and then but you know, he was a very, very good speaker. You know, he got across to people. He was like his speech after after we won the Bram Final in '66. People still talk about it. You know, like he just jumped up on the table and he said, you know, I knew it would happen. He said if we stuck together and we did the things we did, you know. And he said, I'm not skilled enough or learned enough to tell you how I feel. He said, but no matter where you go or what you do in life, I'll always remember what you did for me this day, you know. He was fantastic.